Hi, welcome to your video lesson for the week. So we are continuing our work today with the intro to the song Crazy on You. In the last video we covered the core part of this intro, which is the part that's most repeated. And so to make kind of for your video convenience, I'm going to put a link to that video in the comment section below, or in the description rather, just so if you need to retrieve anything that we did in that first one, it's very easy to find. Because in this video, what we're going to do is focus in on the 3 different endings that Nancy Wilson puts in this intro. So everything that we do is going to be connected to that main chord that we talked about last week, and this video is going to break down all of those 3 different endings. So let's dive right into it. Now in the last video, the part that we covered was the main intro. We played that once, and then we quickly repeat that little triplet. Right here is where we're going to find our first change in the song. So we've already slid up to our 4th fret, just as we did in the very beginning. And we're going to follow that 4th fret movement from on the 3rd string, from the 2nd to the 4th fret. We're going to follow it with an open G string. I'm sorry, the slide happens on the 4th string. And we follow it with that open G. Our thumb is still hanging out on that low A note, so we're going to follow it with an open A string. Alright, so we have our... And then here what we're going to do is we are going to transition into an E major chord shape, but played up on the 3rd fret. Okay, so this is our standard E major where we're here on our 2nd fret, and what we're going to do is move that chord shape up to the 3rd fret. So we have the 3rd fret of our 5th string held down. We have the 2nd fret of our 4th string, and the 2nd fret of our 3rd string. Alright, so it's mimicking an E major with just a small variation, but we're going to play those 3 strings all in a row. Our 5th string, 4th string, and 3rd string. Alright, so we slid 2 to 4, our open string, our open A, as we transition into this E shape on our 3rd fret. Following that, we're going to, almost as if we're playing the notes backwards, you're going to use your index finger to play that 4th fret to sort of reverse you. So you play the 4th string with your index finger and then open E. Alright, so let's just look closely at that part of it. So we're in our A minor chord shape. We're going to slide on our 4th string, 2nd fret to 4th fret, open G, open A as we transition, and then we're going to come down into our E chord shape, play our 5th, 4th, and 3rd string, come back to our 4th string, open E, and then we're going to slide our way into holding down the 5th fret of our 5th string and the 4th fret of our 3rd string. Alright, so everybody else is open. If it's a little more comfortable to use a ring finger and an index finger, it might be easier to get into it. So we just played our low open E string, and then when I say we're sliding into this, it means that as you come into it, as long as you have a slide even 1 fret before, but you're trying to land on the 5th and 4th fret. Alright, so we don't need to take it from that open all the way and slide it all the way up, but you want to make sure you're sliding into position. Alright, so we're going to play the 4th and 5th fret. We're going to follow with that open E, and then we're coming down to the 4th and 2nd fret. Alright, so right there we have an open E, slide into 5 and 4, open E, come into your 4 and 2nd fret, open E, and then we're going back into our A minor chord shape, but we're going to throw in a hammer on that C note. So on our B string, which is our second string, we're going to play both our fourth string and B string together as we hammer on to our B string, followed by a low open E. Alright, 2 measures there. That's all we covered. We're going to back up a little bit to where we play the second part of our core. Alright, so the second triplet. We're going to play right in to where we slide up to the 4th fret and take our first ending. Let's try it together. So we're sliding from our A minor chord shape. We're going to slide up from on our 4th string, 2nd fret to 4th, open G, open A as we transition into that E chord shape. Back to our 4th string, open E, and then we're going to slide into the 5th and 4th fret, open E, 4th and 2nd fret, open E, go into an A minor with a hammer on, open E, and then we're going to play kind of sort of like almost a G chord shape, but you're going to hold down the 3rd fret of your low E string and the 4th fret of your 3rd string. Alright, so if you go into it as if you're going to play a G chord, I think it's going to be the easiest for your hand. Your little finger might want to take that 4th fret, but what we're going to do, we're going to be on it quickly because we're doing another triplet here. So we're playing those 2 strings together, and then we're going to move on your 3rd string from the 4th fret to the 2nd fret to an open position. Alright, so this movement is mimicking the same triplet that we have in our core. The only difference is that we are holding down the 3rd fret of our low E string and we're starting on the 4th fret of our 3rd string. And then we're back to our A minor. Alright, so that was our first ending at that point. Now we're going to work on the second ending. So once we complete that ending, we go right back to our core part, which is going to be and that is our slide again on our 4th string, sliding up to our 4th fret. Now at this point, we're going to retrieve our A minor chord shape. We're going to use this 4th fret as sort of our anchor spot for this A minor. So we're going to put that A minor down in place, only up here on the 4th fret, because all of the notes we'll need for this second ending are all going to be either right within this shape or within reach of this shape. Alright, so once we play, we're going to slide up to our 4th fret. There's our open G again with our open A. And when we play that open A, get your A minor chord shape down. Right there, we're going to play that another follow-up open A, and then we're going to use your thumb and index finger to play both your 4th and 3rd string, which are already being held down on the 4th fret. We're going to play those. Your thumb is going to quickly follow that kind of chord up with just a single note. Alright, so we got our 2 A's, our open A again, and then your middle finger is going to play the B string, which is currently held down. You have your 3rd fret of your B string held down with your index finger. And then we're going to play that open A again. We're going to use our index finger to play our G note. And then here we're going to reach up with our little finger on up to the 5th fret of your B string. And at the same time, play this low A again. And we're going to do another sort of reference to our triplet. We're going to pull off from our 5th fret to our 3rd fret, which is already being held down in place with your index finger. So play those together. And then we're going to follow that with our index finger playing the G. Okay, so lots of notes that are happening there, but not a lot of movement. Most of it's all happening right here in your right hand. So let's look at that part again before we complete that second ending. So we're going to slide up from our 4th fret, that open G string, followed by your first A, open A note. So you want to get your A minor chord shape down. We'll play A, and then your thumb comes up to the D string, or your 4th string, and your index finger's on the G. And we're going to play those 2 together. Follow it with your thumb playing the D, and then back down to your A, as your middle finger now plays the B string. And then we're going to play open A, back to your index finger on the G. We're reaching up with your little finger to the 5th fret of your B string, and your thumb is playing your open A as we pull off. And end it with your index finger on the G. Your last couple notes for this measure, right after we play that open G, or that G note rather, with your index finger, your pinky is now going to reach over to the 5th fret of your high E string. And then back to a low A. And then we're going to come up all the way to the 12th fret. We lightly lay our finger on the string, so we're not pushing down at all. There's no pressure. We're lightly laying our fingers across the strings to get this harmonic sound. Okay, so we're not pushing down on the fret, and you want to make sure you have enough connection to the string that you're not getting any string tone. Okay, so it's just gently laid on the strings, but it's firm enough that the strings don't have the ability to vibrate underneath your finger. Okay? So let's go over that last part again. So once we slide up into our A minor chord shape, we have our open G. We have our open A, we're going to get into our A minor chord. Our 4th and 3rd string played together. 4th string to 5th string. Middle finger plays your B back to your open A. Index finger. Now reach up with your little finger on the B string to the 5th fret and pull off. Now back to your G string, and then little finger comes up to the 5th fret of your high E string, low A, and then all the way up, we're going to pluck the harmonic. Now the final 3rd ending might actually come as almost a relief to you. It's, I think, the most simplistic part because it doesn't require a whole lot of crazy chord shapes. Our timing is pretty much on beat on this part. Alright, so all of these other changes had some sort of shift in our timing a little bit, but this one we stayed pretty consistent with what that open A note is holding down for us. So when we get to our final repeat of the core part of our song. Again, we're back on our A minor. We just played our triplet the 2nd time through. We're going to again slide up from our 2nd fret to our 4th fret on that 4th string. Open G, back to our low A note. And here we're going to do a series of hammer-ons where we're hammering on to the 5th fret of our 5th string and our 4th fret of our 4th string. When we hammer on, we're going to hammer on to just our 5th fret, or sorry, just on our 5th string, but we're getting that 4th fret in place because the next note that follows is our 4th string. So we have, alright, so we slid up, open G, open A, to hammer in to our 5th fret, followed by the 4th fret of our 4th string. And then we're going to hammer on into our 3rd and 2nd fret on our 5th and 4th string. And same thing. So hammer on our 5th string, 2nd fret is held down of our 4th string, and we're going to follow that up with our index finger playing down on this 4th string. So we have 5th and 4th, 3rd and 2nd. Alright, so let's take that little movement there. So we're going to slide up, 2nd to 4th, 4th string. Hammer on, 5th and 4th. Hammer on, 3rd and 2nd. And then back to our A minor for our last triplet.